Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we will be making some cabbage stew. Yes, this is cabbage stew 2.0. 1.0 is already in the on the playlist. This is 2.0 and I know you will love this. Okay, so don't go anywhere. Subscribe to your girl's channel. Thank you all for what you're doing for me. We almost at 1,000 and I just cannot wait. Do not forget to subscribe, like I said, and turn on your notifications. So let's get started and let's go through the ingredients we will be using. So I will be using my special Gino curry powder. You can find this in the African store. I love using it. I have here my ground nutmeg. I ended up not using it. And then I also have some fennel seeds. I also have some crushed rosemary, my canned beef, and then of course it's not cabbage stew without cabbage. So we have our chicken bouillon powder. I bought this from the Asian market. And then I also had some old I found in the fridge green onions that I will be using. I have here my yellow onions, my garlic, ginger, and then I have here some bell peppers as well. We have red, yellow, and green. And then I have here my tomatoes. Yes, and here I have my beef. So to season my beef, I have here my onion. I used one medium onion, cut it, and I will add my garlic and my ginger. And then add some fennel seeds. I love using these herbs, fennel seeds and rosemary. Good flavor. These are my go-to whenever I'm seasoning any kind of meat, even if it's chicken, fish. I have to have my onions, my garlic, my ginger. Sometimes if I want a little bit of spice in my meat, I add some habanero. So once it's all blended, I'll add it to my meat, rinse it out and add some water to it, and then I will add some seasoning, of course. For this season, I'm adding my chicken bouillon. I used about a teaspoon, and then I'll use my I'll be using this curry powder. I like this particular kind of curry powder. It's flavorful. I love using it. And then of course I'll be adding some salt. Mix it all together and allow it to cook. I'll be cooking this for about 20 to 30 minutes. So once my meat is cooking, I'll go ahead and blend the other ingredients that I'll be using. Here I will be blending one medium onion, some green onions, and then I'll add some habaneros. I want you to try using green onions in your stews, soups. It gives it a good flavor, a different flavor altogether. Just give it a try and tell me what you think. So once that is done, I'll go ahead and blend my bell pepper, take the seeds out, and blend it. Once that is also done, I'll go ahead and then slice my other vegetables, the green, yellow, red bell pepper, slice my onions, and then I'll shred my cabbage. And I'll also slice my tomatoes. That'll get me ready to start the stew, the cabbage stew. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on your notifications so that you are updated of any video that I upload. You get the first notification. Thank you all so much for all that you're doing for me. Thank you all for the support. Thank you all for the words of encouragement. I know I couldn't have done it without you all. And I've had a few feedbacks like, hey girl, you teaching me how to cook. I know I'm not teaching you, I'm just giving you different kind of ideas. And thank you all for the feedback. So we will be checking on our meat, and I can tell you it's cooked. It's been about 25 minutes. I've been doing this for so long, I know it's cooked, but you can touch it or you can feel it. If you're not sure, just feel it to see how soft it is. And we will get ready to fry. So remember, before you fry, just take it out of the stock and set it out on a plate before you fry, because then if you take it directly from the stock, there's gonna be some stock and it's gonna be in the oil. You know what I mean? We've been doing this, so you know. So this is optional. You can have your cabbage or vegetable stew without beef, but I like to have it in there. It's an option. So as the saying goes, once your beef turns into golden brown, like brown, you know it's cooked and it's ready. I don't want it to be very crispy. So now I'll take these brown particles from my meat after frying out of my oil so that I wouldn't have all these in the stew. I was told it's called fund, you know, the brown particles after frying meat or vegetables. Okay, so now we have all our ingredients ready to get the stew started. It's not a lot of work, trust me. It's as easy as ABC. Don't think it's too much of a work. Call me to your home, I'll do it. So I'm frying my onions, and once my onions are fried, I'll add my paste. So remember this first one, it's the onions, the green onions, and my habanero. Keep stirring so it doesn't burn. So I'll be cooking this for about 8 minutes, and then I'll be adding my tomato paste. I have 1 can of tomato paste, a small can. And then you stir it, mix it all together. I like saying mix it all together, right? Okay, so now this has all been mixed. Just keep stirring so you don't burn your stew. This is already a stew. And I add my sliced tomatoes. So what I did was I took out all the seeds from it. Normally I would have blended the seeds with my my habanero, my onions, but I didn't do that this time. I am also adding my bay leaf for flavor, and I will stir it together. Once this is cooked, I'll add my other blended paste. This is only my bell pepper, the red one, and then I'll mix it all. And I'll let it cook for some time, for about 5 minutes. Now you can smell the stew, but it's not ready. So once my stew has cooked for about 5 minutes, I will be adding my stock from the meat. Remember, that stock actually has a lot of flavor. It has some garlic, it has some ginger, it has some fennel seeds, it has rosemary, it has some chicken seasoning. So it has a lot of flavor. Do not discard of it. We will be using it. And I'm not using all, I just added a little bit, mix it together, and then I'll taste it. You know, sometimes you gotta be careful because that stock could be salty and you don't want your stew to be salty. Okay, so I checked and I remember I had a nutmeg, you know, so I didn't use the powdered one. I will be grating this. I like it fresh. I use it all, but I had this, so I said, why not? That's why I told you earlier I had the powdered one, but I never used it. Extra work, right? It is what it is. Okay. Keep stirring so it doesn't burn. And I'll add it. So this little thing has a lot of flavor and it smells so good. So good. And you know, growing up we were told or we learned by using nutmegs only for stews, but you can use it for all kinds of seasoning. All kinds of seasoning. I added my curry powder, of course, and those comes in little sachets, very small, so it's not that much of it. And I like, if I have cabbage stew, I like to have a good base, you know, stew base. So I'm using canned beef. You can actually use, if I had smoked mackerel, I would have used it. I do not have that. You can have mackerel in tomato sauce. That's also fine. It depends on what you want to do. Okay, so now we will be adding our shredded cabbage. Remember to wash it very well. I washed it with salt and I rinsed it with water again. I did salt and water and I rinsed it out with water. Okay, so add all your cabbage to it and keep stirring so that you're able to incorporate everything in there, you know, mix it all in. It's now time to add our beef. I will be adding my beef. The stew smells amazing. Amazing. And I'll be adding my vegetables, my sliced bell peppers, the green, the yellow, the red, and of course I add some onions. This is vegetable based, and it's good. You love it. I know you cannot wait to try this. I hope you do try. And remember to test for salt. I hope you give this recipe a try. This is a bomb cabbage stew. This is cabbage stew 2.0. 2.0. 2.0. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, give your girl a thumbs up. And what do you think we can pair with this vegetable stew? I know what I paired it with. I'll show you. Don't go anywhere. So what do you think about this cast iron? I've had this cast iron since last year, October. I think somewhere in September, October, and I have never used it. Today is the first time I'm using it. I know my rice is going to come out good. So we will be making some curry rice. First you add your oil. I had already diced up some onions, so I'll be frying these onions. And I told you in one of my videos that make sure you cook your onions for some time because it has a lot of flavor. Onions has good flavor. When you fry it for the longest, it unleashes, the flavor from that onion. And I'll be adding the curry powder. This is about half a teaspoon of the curry powder. And I'll cook it for some time. About 2 to 3 minutes. Once it's cooked, I'll be adding some water. And I'll add the ingredients in my description box for you to know what I used. Add some salt and remember to always taste for salt. Once it boils, we will be adding our rice. So remember to cook it under medium heat so it doesn't burn. Are you familiar with cooking rice on a stove? I am. This is what I grew up with. Okay, so now I will gently mix it all together. Make sure the onions at the top goes at the bottom as well. I just mix everything together, the rice and the onions. You know how the onions were at the surface of the rice. Okay, now you mix it together, put it under very low heat, and then cover it and let it cook. Just give it time to cook. Rice is almost cooked. I do not want it very sticky, and I don't want it very hard too. I know it's not cooked. I'll let it cook for a few minutes. And that's it. Your rice is done. So we are getting ready to eat. This is yummy in my tummy, yummy in my tummy, yummy in my tummy. We are ready to dish this food out. Here we have our cooked curry rice and our vegetable cabbage stew. And guess what? It's all happening at All Things Flossie's restaurant. It's all happening in my kitchen. And this is a 5-star restaurant, trust me. When are you coming to have lunch with me? Yes, we shipped our rice. Yes. Thank you all for subscribing to All Things Flossy, and thank you all for cooking with me, cooking my favorite cabbage stew with me. Until my next video, I hope you love God, I hope you love people, I hope you stay graced up. Don't forget to share and subscribe. Bye bye. Love y'all.